Hello everybody and welcome to the final round of the Tanso Racing Group's GR86 UK Cup here from Thruxton. Just added into iRacing this week. Round 7 takes place at one of the newest circuits on iRacing here in the south of England. It's myself, Ewan O'Leary and JPBroadcasting with you for this round of the championship. Brad's computer exploded last night. I wish I was joking, but so he's not here unfortunately, but James is here instead. And James, luckily for you, it is probably the racing circuit, correct me if I'm wrong, closest to you geographically, so you can tell us all about this circuit with your local knowledge here tonight.
It is my local circuit. It's literally up the road from me, 45 minutes. I've been there myself, watched Superbikes, BTCC, absolutely amazing circuit. I don't know if anybody else has been there, but it is an absolute banger. I love this circuit. Fastest circuit in the UK, of course, and that is due to the fact, obviously, you've got that long run out of Noble that goes all the way through Goodwood, right the way down into Club. So branded the fastest circuit in the UK, and if you haven't been there and watched any racing, I highly recommend going there to have a look, because it is an absolute banger of the race. So this section here, all the way down now, Goodwood right into Club at the end, is just non-stop, full throttle. Yes, Craig Jones, we went there together to watch the British touring cars.
This circuit has been the same, by the way, since 1968, this layout, which is why it does feel quite old school in places, but it does feel like, especially from, you know, when I first saw this circuit, I've never been, but since I first saw this circuit 10, 15 years ago, it does feel like, especially the curving in some places, been modernised a little bit. But what I'm really pleased about this circuit is that it has kept its character for, you know, I say the most part, you know, the real most part, as in, you know, there's very little tarmac runoff anywhere on the outsides of these corners, and you can still have some very, very big accidents around here, which we have seen in the past as well. Thankfully, this is just sim racing, so it's fine. But yeah, it's a proper old school racetrack where there is absolutely no room for error at all.
No, you've got to be on it. You've got to be on point, and that's the thing. You know, I've seen some incidents in the Superbikes when I went to watch them up here, and dude, they are nuts. They are absolutely. Them guys are full on crazies. Because hurtling through here, there's obviously to the left-hand side. Normally on the right there's some tyre barriers, and literally I've seen a Superbike just go bang on its side straight into the tyre barriers. It was insane. There is nothing. The only good thing is you've got long grass runoff areas, so you can make a mistake at certain points. You can go too wide and push each other off either way. As you can see, you've got that long runoff area. But when you get into the grandstand section, it narrows in quite a lot. It's quite tight for them to be able to get through. You don't want to try and go down through Club too wide. It hasn't worked in real life racing I've watched, and I don't think it's going to work here at Sim. It is too tight, but Mike Walter's got to straighten that up a little bit more, and you can see it narrows in, comes into this kind of a corner, long sweeping right-hander, and then it'll tighten up just about there, and then it will open back out for the run up into the first corner. So you've got to really gauge where you're going to make your overtakes. Here's a good spot. If you can get alongside, get it up the inside, you can run around the inside and take the outside through this next left-hander, and you'll have the inside for the exit. Only if you can make it work. It is, you know, you've got to be on point. And this run, if you can get this run down into Campbell, you might be able to get the overtake done, but it's going to be very, very difficult indeed.
It certainly is. Arthur Burton is currently leading the way by some distance, actually, in this qualifying session, which is pretty interesting that he's so far out in front, actually. However, yeah, look at that. What was a very long way to go, though. Just under 7 minutes remaining. He's nowhere near the points lead, by the way. Arthur down in 33rd, because he's only been at 2 rounds, and they were last week at the Silverstone National Circuit, where we saw some fantastic racing. Scott McFall is the leader of the championship by quite a margin, and in fact he is already the champion, so we won't be seeing him add to his race wins list by the looks of things this time round, because he's not here. However, he is the champion by some distance. He held 106 points over Mark Brown coming into today. Mark Brown is second, though, only 8 points ahead of Alan McCain, so second and third in this qualifying session, second and third in the point standings as well. That'll be one to really watch throughout the race as well, with Peter Duke, Dan Forster and Neil Kennedy not too far away either, although Kennedy is 60 points off Brown. I'd be surprised if he jumps into second place at the end of the day. So it's going to be a good round, and an important round as well, and what a shock to the system. I'm quite a fan of putting the final round at a circuit that not many of these drivers will have driven on in iRacing prior to this race. Really throw a surprise into the mix for the very last race of the season. I think that's a really great thing for us anyway. Yeah,
absolutely, and there isn't many that would have driven Thruxton. If you've been your local, apart from a hardcore. Man, I've seen a hardcore superbike fan. She travelled around the whole of England and literally went everywhere. And then unless you're hardcore BTCC, you wouldn't have probably never been here. You probably couldn't pinpoint it on a map, and you couldn't tell me where it was near. That's the thing. Unless you've actually been to the circuit or aware of it in some shape or form. But these guys, some of these would never have probably heard of it, especially the likes of Bradley Lovins, who I saw in earlier on, Mike Walters, Michael Vesta, Rick Modric, some of them more American-based people probably haven't heard of the circuit as such, but they've got a steep learning curve because it is a difficult circuit regardless of what people think, and I think there's still challenges that these guys have got to overcome. One of them is making sure you can make yourself through this first Campbell Cobb and Seagrave complex before you go running out through Noble.
Eric Rodenberg probably hasn't done very much of this circuit either, and he's in second place at the moment, so he's doing a very good job indeed. I believe this is Rodenberg's first race in this season. It is indeed. He's not in the standings, so he's making his debut here tonight. And what a fantastic performance he's putting on here. Oh, right-hander here through Goodwood, and just getting into the grass there on the outside line. And imagine that an off-track might well be easy to pick up there, and indeed he's backing off now. One thing I did notice through the final corners, by the way, through the final chicane, was just how easy it is to cut the circuit. And I'm very interested to see where iRacing draws the line in terms of track limits down here at the chicane, the club chicane that is. Not the first part particularly. This right-hander is pretty clear, stay on the left of the curb. But what about this bit? Some of them are just straight lining it to varying degrees, and it's very interesting to see the different lines being taken and where iRacing is going to draw the line in terms of giving people a slow down penalty or whatever it is for cutting the corner.
Now, when I was out there for the BTCC this year, as long as you remotely had two wheels towards the race circuit, you got away with it. I'm going to take a car out after this broadcast to see, and I'll let you know where it is, because I'm hoping they haven't gone too tight on that chicane. That chicane is literally a chicane that you can straight line, right? That's the thing. You can straight line that chicane to a degree once you got first past the entry. As long as iRacing haven't determined, track goes right there, mate. As long as they haven't determined that, we're going to put it on this point, when real life they don't have it on this point, I would be very upset if they had done that. I would more want them to be more lenient as they are in real life on that chicane. As long as you've got two wheels either side, you can have full two wheels over to the left, and as long as your other two wheels on the right are just on the track, so you can go through here, look, that's on the track to the right, that's on the track to the left. As long as you do that, you should be fine, as long as they haven't gone too crazy on the off tracks.
I hope so. I hope they have kept it realistic. I must admit, it's the only thing I don't really like about this circuit, that final chicane. I find it a bit annoying, to be honest. The track limits discussions I always find really annoying, and especially at that chicane, I think it's a bit irritating. I mean, why couldn't they put a chicane in like this one? It's perfectly fine, flows quite well, and the track limits are enforced just naturally. I don't understand why they couldn't have done something similar.
Right, let me tell you why. Because there's no way. First things first, they wouldn't have had room, right? As you said, this track hasn't been updated since 1968. If you look at the 53 to 64 layout, it was even more janky than this. And the 50 to 52 was like a rectangle. If you hadn't got that club chicane, there was no room to put a sweeping Campbell Cobb Seagrave chicane up there. It's just not there's not enough entry onto that straight. So if they wanted to do that, they would have to modify the whole thing. The thing is as well, if they hadn't had any chicane in there, it's going to look almost like a janky oval with a Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave chicane in it, you know. So they've got to put some form of mix in there, and they just can't. The room down there is just too tight on the racetrack. They cannot get anything other than what they put in.
I don't know, some grass or something in the way. I don't know. Anyway,
God, blimey, there's no pleasing you today, is there?
No, I just said I like this circuit, but yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it. The rest of it, absolutely fine. Yeah, this circuit would look like a bit of a misshapen. I mean, as it is, it looks a bit like a wisdom tooth, to be honest with you. It's quite an odd shape. Although before, you're right, 1950 to 1952, it looked like a bow tie almost.
Yes.
Very. Then the next layout was sort of a floppy moustache. That doesn't look very good either, to be honest, although I've never seen it driven. And then this is how it is from now on until present. I can't see it changing anytime soon either, to be honest.
There's no room.
Once these things get so embedded, well, partly that, but once these things get so embedded in history and whatever, you kind of don't really want to change it anymore.
No.
So I think they'll be keeping it for the foreseeable. That is the end of qualifying, though. Arthur Furter was unchallenged towards the end there, and he takes pole position ahead of Mark Brown. It's Eric Ronenberg on row 2 ahead of Alan McCain, with Scott Brown in 5th place ahead of Dan Wareham. Then it is Peter Woodmore and Craig Courish on row 4 with Michael Bester and Jack Holland rounding out the top 10. Dave Collier and Dan Forster are on row 6 together, with 13th taken up by Rick Wishon. Michael Dolan's 14th ahead of Tim Walters and Lee Rylands. Bradley Lovings and Mike Walters make up an all-American row 9, with Simon McPhee and Rick Modric rounding out the top 20. Dean Cummings, the only Australian-New Zealand driver in the field. He's 21st, ahead of Curtis Matthews, with Adrian Hadfield, Stuart Briley, John Johnston and Michael Champlin rounding out the field. And for whatever reason, there's a pace car in front of the field. You don't see this very often.
Yeah. I'm going to presume they haven't done rolling starts all season, have they?
Nope.
No.
So,
somebody's done the session wrong. John Johnson, naughty boy. What have you been up to? Maybe he's got...
maybe it's intentional, to be fair, because some of them might be halfway around the chicane because of how long the grid is.
No, they're not. They just chop off before. If you look at Michael Chaplin, he is just chopping off before.
Yeah, but they're packed up closer than they would be in a standing start because it's a rolling start and they line up differently. So I think some of them might be just round the chicane slightly, so that might be why we've gone for it. Well, we've got lights at the top of our screen, but a pace car in the way, and indeed they're set up for a rolling start. We will see. There they are, underway. So I'm just trying to monitor if anyone's chatting in discussion at this stage. It looks like this has been pretty... have I just missed an announcement? I don't think so. But anyway,
I can't see anything. I can't see anything.
Oh, no, exactly, no. So anyway.
Maybe it's just something's just gone wrong. It's just all gone a bit Pete Tong.
Well, they'll be just going for a rolling start instead then. Well, I mean, is it going to change too much? Well, maybe. I mean, these cars are not the easiest to get off the line in the world. Maybe there'll be a few people pleased that we're getting off to a rolling start. It's certainly going to make it more difficult to make places up on the start because everyone starts sort of in a formation in a rolling start. So we'll see how the start actually goes, but it will be very different to what we would have had if it was a standing start.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried now because I'm really hoping they single file that last chicane and then Fertile slows them down on the other side, because if he bolts out of that chicane, oh god, it could be absolute chaos of people trying to get to the front as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm sure Arthur's going to use his brain, right? You know, he's just been on holiday. He's, you know, I'm sure he's going to use his brain. It'll be all right.
Yeah, let's hope so. They make their way round the other side of the circuit now. And as I mentioned, by the way, the championship leader, Scott McFall, not here today, so the opportunity to win very much open to other people. Now, Arthur was able to take one win last week at the Silverstone National in his first race in this series, in a battle with Scott McFall and a couple of others as well, so I wonder whether he's going to take race 1 victory for the second week in a row. Interestingly, Mark Brown is staying directly behind him as they all drive through all the dirt and the muck offline there, through the very fast right-hander of Church, and then through Brooklands, which is not really a corner, just a slight bend in the road towards the club chicane at the very end of the lap. But for some reason, Mark Brown is still not really taking up his place in the queue. He's directly behind Fertel. If he doesn't get out of line before the start, he might find himself in a bit of trouble, but let's see what he decides to do. Now he's slowing down so much, the cars of Ronenberg and McCain are about to go round him. What's he going to do, Alan McCain? Is he just doing this on purpose, I suppose, to try and stay as close to Fertel as possible? I don't really know if this is allowed, to be honest with you, but anyway, Fertel is going to go pretty soon after the chicane, and there you go. He stretches out the field very nicely indeed, and that's why Mark Brown wasn't taking up his place alongside Fertel. He wanted to be right behind him, ready for this start. 20 minutes in race 1 here at Thruxton, and we're underway through turn 1 and then in towards 2. It's going to be Fertel in the lead, but Mark Brown right behind him because of that start. An alternate way of doing things, as he didn't take up the initial position behind the leader. Instead, though, he is in second place, trailing off Fertel through the first chicane for the first time.
Yeah, something's gone on the straight. Something's gone on the corner with Tim Waters, Lee Rylands and Michael Doolan, and we'll have a look back at that one. Let's get these first laps out of the way. But Arthur Fertel got an absolute stunning start. He did one of the other options that we said. He was either going to bolt coming out the chicane, or he was going to hold them up and go through the chicane and let them realign. They're coming out the other side. He didn't do that. He bolted as soon as the chicane gave him an option, and that is it. You saw the way Brown played that. He knew he had to single file that chicane, because otherwise he was going to be slow behind Fertel coming off that restart. And if Fertel bounced straight away, which is what he did do, Brown would not have been able to keep up with him.
And that is Brown off the road there. Scott Brown, that is, off the road at turn 6 at Church, but he's back at turn 6, P6. He's off and back on again now, though. Looking up the inside into Club. Brown's not going to do it. They hop over the final curve, and look at that. Fertel straight lining the final chicane a lot more than the others, and maybe now they're following him directly on the racetrack, they might follow his line through that final chicane, because clearly it was a lot quicker. Mark Brown is all of a sudden a second behind.
Yeah, that's the thing at the moment, and he's just lost all that going through that one chicane. That one chicane caused him that problem.
Now he's gone wide, and he's giving up a slowdown, I think. Ronenberg and Alan McCain both go through. Dan Wareham certainly had a slowdown out the final corner there, because he's dropped down to 8th place. I feel like that slowdown penalty, or these slowdown penalties, there's probably going to be multiple. They're going to be a big story throughout the race.
Yeah, they're going to have to monitor it as well, because we don't know where they are or what they've done. That's the problem. How bad have they made them, and how worse have they put them in? This is what happened at the beginning with Tim Walters here kicking off at the whatever carnage took place here. But there seemed to be multiple that may have had a bit of a moment. He's going to bring him round. There we go. That's what went on.
That's a big smash for Walters.
Yeah.
My goodness, that was a big crash. And that is a real sorry-looking car, I'm afraid. As, oh, goodness me, look at this. Brown, going side by side. Mark Brown on the inside, getting through. Well saved. Well saved into Club. You don't see those cars pull back from that position very often. The GR86 generally snaps the other way when it goes like that. But great save from Mark Brown as he was making an overtake for 4th place.
Yeah, great job from him. He is obviously down 2 places off the start there. Shawnee Sim in YouTube is where he updated the track. It's reset to rolling. Yep, it does do that, unfortunately, when you set up sessions in iRacing. Tim Waters is not in a good place at this moment in time, and people behind are going to be cursing there as well. I do love the Jack Holland Barbie machine, though. Jack, well done, son. That looks absolutely epic. Real men wear pink, so that's what I'm going to say on that one. And Dan Wareham's tucked him right behind him.
Wareham is he's wide, careful, and he's back on again, thankfully, into the racing line. Meanwhile, through the right-hander, through Goodwood, longer than you think, actually, when you're going through here. It just seems to go on forever, and then sort of continues on, even when you are on a sort of straight here at Village, then in towards Church, down the inside for Woodmore on Brown, and here comes Wareham. what Holland's stuck, and he pushes Brown. Oh, he's trying to barge his way out and getting boxed in here on the way towards Club. Does he go right? Does he go left? He's going to try and make it almost free. Why did he here? As Brown goes on the defensive into the Club chicane. Warehams on the inside of Holland here into the corner, and Holland does hang on to one position but not the other. He's drawn down to 8th place. Craig Courish is slow out the corner as well as he was trying to make his way through. He's now side by side with Wishon in the background as Holland tries to regain that place on Scott Brown.
The problem was as well is Holland was up, I think it was Courish behind, was up on 2 wheels going through Club, and he was in deep trouble. He had to wait for the car to land before he could do anything else. But you see Wareham, he took 2 for 1 there. We've got Bradley Lovins in the mix as well. We have Collier and Dan Foster. Michael Vester is also in here. These guys are swapping places at the same time. He's had to slow down, so he's going to have to sit and wait at the moment. But currently, they're side by side here as well with Courish and Rick Wishon.
Oh, he's looking, Wishon, outside line here on Craig Courish. Oh, he's got it wrong. He's got it a bit wrong here as Wishon. He's a bit wide through Goodwood. Oh, and nearly smashing him to the back of him there. It's Bradley Lovings. Dave Collier got through very easily, but Lovings very nearly smashed straight into the back of him there. And that would have been bad at that sort of speed. Through Church they go. And this is such a high-speed right-hander, of course, staying just about on the road there. Rick Wishon right in front of us here as we ride on board with Bradley Lovings. This circuit providing great racing so far. It's sort of got a Monza-style slipstream going on at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great circuit. That's why they call it the fastest one in the UK, buddy. Because of this. Like, you're not getting through. Where are you going? Who was that?
Sam McPhee.
Sam McPhee. Where you up to, son?
He's tried to enter so wide there, Club, trying to open out the chicane. He's actually just got into the grass, and oh dear, well, he's had to just miss the chicane there, because otherwise he was going to hit one of those, well, whatever that is. I don't know what they are, but
it's like
anyway.
Like a tyre barrow, it's fine.
Yeah, like a hay bale.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably a bit too
modern.
We are
out in the country down here, you know what I mean? So they've got to make use of what we get, right? All right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We only got electric a few years ago. Leave us alone.
So Simon McPhee drops to 19th place now after that short off-track moment, but at least he didn't find himself in the wall. That's as much as you can say. Battle for 5th place continues. Woodmore ahead of Dan Wareham, then Scott Brown, then Jack Holland, who we're riding on board with now. This is one of the most exciting groups we've seen so far. Further up, Alan McCain is battling with Eric Ronenberg, but I feel like they're very much just in an agreement at the moment as to who's going to follow the other. Less so up here. Woodmore goes on the defensive from Wareham, who got a much better run there and flies straight through.
Yeah, Holland's just got an absolute barnstorming run as well. He's going to be climbing all over Brown here. Big puff of smoke, straight line it. No, you can take it more, get on the gas. You don't need to slow down. You've got such a wide runoff on the left. You can make that work, and you can get through and take it a little bit more high speed. Jack's just got to be big and brave, stick it in there, son, and go for it, because otherwise you're going to lose time every single time. So he's just got to make sure that he can get that run through that final chicane, and he should get the run up the hill here into Campbell at this moment in time.
Through the chicane. Campbell, then Cobb, then Seagrave, and this is the important one, the final part, getting that run on the exit, and it's not really happened for Jack Holland, who we're riding on board with here. Dave Collier, by the way, is in the slipstream of us now, although you won't be able to see it behind. These groups are starting to reform again here. It's further up front, Mark Brown, who's doing the catching in the group for 2nd place. Collier's doing the catching here in the group for 5th. Courish, Wishon and Lovings are all in a 3 now. Modric is leading a line in 14th place as well. There's so many groups on this circuit, but because of the speed of these cars and the nature of this circuit, the slipstream's so powerful, it's keeping these groups so close together.
He's got to go. He had to go, Collier. Unfortunately for him at that moment in time, he got that all a little bit wrong, but here's the overtake. There's Brown on our inside. If they chance this could be really, really messy. They've got to make sure they can go. They're going through too wide. He's going to push him over. There's got to be a slowdown coming out the other side. And now Collier's coming through. He's taking both of them.
The background. Oh, Lovings has been in the wall in the background with Courish, I think. Not Lovings, it's Courish. It is Courish, just Courish. He's been in the wall. It looks like they have got away without a slowdown, by the way. It's almost unbelievable. This is what happened to Craig Courish. Lost it through the first part, and his spin went over to the second. It looks like he's only tapped the ball there softly enough, I think, for him to get away without too much damage.
Yeah, it looks like Brown and Holland may have got away with that. I am shocked that they did, to be honest. Maybe they haven't put any form of restriction into that final chicane, and they've literally just said, go for your life, lads. You know what I mean? But we've got this other group developing further down. Dan Foster's in the front of this one, and behind we've got Rick Modric, who's got Mike Walters, Cummings, Corish, McPhee, Curtis Matthews is in there as well. So still action taking place, but again, you think that's the nature of the circuit, as we're just about to see how much nature of this circuit did it do to Stuart Brearley here, and what did he get himself into? Oh, your back end's coming round here, sir. There you go. Problem is he going to bring these gravel particles that you hate so much back onto the side of the circuit?
So it's just the visual of it. It's just so annoying. We just think that someone's blown an engine every race. Yeah. It's ridiculous. You don't see that in real life. Anyway, Rick Modric is in 13th meanwhile. He's at the head of the biggest group now. Oh, that's very wide from Cummings. And he's going to be overtaken there by Craig Corish. That's going to be a slowdown if ever I've seen one. He's blatantly cut the corner there. Although Cummings has been pushed so far wide, it won't matter to him. He's going to lose places nevertheless. Corish is going to try and serve his penalty here by pulling to the right-hand side and getting out of the way through turn 2. Or is he serving a penalty? Is he just defending?
He's just defending.
He might have gotten away with that, but I almost can't believe it. In towards turn 3 they go. Oh, he's late on the brakes there, and he just about stops it in time. He looks like he might have got away with that.
Yeah, but there's going to be a car appearing very shortly. There we go. Simon McPhee is having a little bit of internet problems. Oh, Matthews!
Oh, coming! It was Matthews, sorry. Oh, big spin.
Big spin.
And thankfully avoided from behind.
Yeah, and now we're going to jump on board, and you can see here from McPhee just how close he will get to Corish going in through the right-hander. In through Goodwood we're going now, and this is just going to be a run and a half. You've got to keep it tight in, otherwise you're going to be drifting out into yonder. And trust me, there's nothing but field, sheep and cows the other side of that fence, and you don't want to go there. So you've got to keep it quite tight. Just maybe lift a little bit, get it straight, now go. And this is where the high speed kicks in for these cars. You know, don't get me wrong, we're going 130, but even 130 is still fast enough for little GR86s around here.
In towards the chicane they go. It looked like Walters giving that up to Modric there, as they were side by side briefly, but Modric gets back to 13th place again. Great run from McPhee, great run through the chicane, and he's going to get 15th. On the inside line of Craig Corish. There you go, through on the inside. You'd imagine he'd be looking to make these places up before the end, to be honest, because he did have that off-track moment earlier on, of course, which did drop him a long way down, and now he's looking to fight his way through this new group that he finds himself in, now on the back of Mike Walters. Then Craig Corish is in line, then Dean Cummings is just trying to hold on to them. This is going to be a much better run here from McPhee, although Walters has actually done a decent job of holding on to that exit pretty well.
Yeah, we're on board on the nose of McPhee now. Through the left-hander we go. Through Noble into this long looping right of Goodwood. You can see how you've got to take it. You've got to bring it in, take late lift. Oh, he just manages to pull it on. And now we're off again, and this is why it's such a high-speed circuit. This racing, I think if you put anything bigger, then I don't know. Then I don't even know if a GT3 can handle going around here, to be blatantly honest, or whether or not it's too big. But I think these cars and MX-5s, Vs, and anything like that, the racing would be absolutely amazing. 3 wide at this moment in time as well. Going down into Club, there's a big send on the inside from Waters. He does make it over Modric. Wow.
That was impressive, and he's miles ahead. Look at this. Modric has not got a very good run out. I can't believe that Walters has got away without a slowdown there. That was unbelievable. Then in towards turn number 1, Modric has got McPhee behind him. Then Corish. Dean Cummings is caught up because of all this going on up ahead of him. Outside line for Simon McPhee. He's going to have to brake very late, surely. Oh, he does. Very nicely done. Outside line. No, can't do it. Oh, it's close. Craig Corish forced to just check his run a little bit there, and he has to stay behind. Through the corners they go, and single file again. Modric's doing a great job to hold on to the front of this group.
I tell you what, mate, he has got literally, they are like flies round a dirty hamburger at this moment in time. And Henry Modric, no offence, son, but you're the dirty hamburger because you have got everybody literally coming at him. He is going to be hearing engine noises from every direction because they're not giving him room. McPhee is just there climbing on him, and Corish is there going over him. Walters is in front trying to get away as well. Here we go once more. They're going to be going. It's going to be 3 wide. He's got to try. McPhee's got to muscle in, otherwise he's going to get blocked in. No, he didn't box him in. He come in behind him.
Not quite. Yeah, so Corish got alongside McPhee initially, but then McPhee started pushing Modric. Oh, no, big smash, huge crash. Oh, dear, flying in there. Dean Cummings went straight into Modric, who went straight into Walters, who's got into the wall down there at the final chicane. It's a disaster for everybody. It looked like it all started with Dean Cummings there, who was on the back of these guys just trying to come through on the inside line. Look at him coming in here. Oh, he's in like a steam train. He's got a strike. He's playing bowling with them, I'm afraid. And he's up to the second place in the group, I suppose, but he might well be reported for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He did kind of punt his way through. We've also got the Woodmore, Collier, Wareham battle. They're still going for it as well. Mark Brown's still in there. This is like literally mental. We've got lots going on. Mark's fighting away here. I believe that's Alan McCain in front of him. Ronenberg is trying to escape, but Brown and McCain are going at each other. Woodmore and Wareham have been off the side of the circuit, so I'm not sure what's gone on with them, but they're back in now, and now you've got Holland and that group coming at them. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
This is You've probably joined us for the best round of the season, to be honest with you. This has been fantastic entertainment so far. This is the battle for 5th place now between Collier, Holland, Wareham, Woodmore and Brown.
Oh, they're at it again.
Meanwhile, Mark Brown is up fighting with Alan McCain. It's all going on back here as well. Dean Cummings looking at the inside again. I'm surprised he's got the confidence to be so brave on the inside at the final chicane there, considering what happened 1 lap ago.
Yeah, but you've got to kind of just put it behind you and think, I've still got to go for it. And if he knows how to run that chicane, he will end up going for it. But we got Barbie here of Holland with Collier and Wareham. This is another group that's slowly starting to close up. You can see the 2 behind, that's Scott Brown and Peter Woodmore. They've just got to stop fighting, and they will close in on people that are scrapping like this. It's obvious they're going to slow each other down. So this is an absolute barnstorming race here for race number 1, and we've still got another one to go.
Here comes Holland on the inside line of Wareham, and he's surely going to get through here. Easily done in towards Church. Wareham's going to have to back out. He can't go around the outside through there. Surely
he's
he can't.
trying.
Oh, maybe he can. Wow. Well, that was expected. Well, I can't really believe that. Wareham has held on round the outside there through Church, and he's got 6th place again. He had the benefit, of course, of the slipstream on the exit, but he was basically through again already. That was very well done indeed, and proving that you can go side by side through there, even though they're fast committed corners, it is possible, as it turns out. Now Holland's got running at chicane instead in towards turn 1.
Yeah, he got a barnstorming run out of club now, and now he's heading up the hill. He is literally going to be going, if he can get close enough, which I don't think he can this time. He settles back in behind, coming into the right-hander of Campbell, then through Cobb here as well, and Holland got a run. This group of Collier, Wareham, Holland, Brown and Woodmore, wow, you can see the Corish, Doolan, Modric, Cummings, McPhee, Rylands battle is still going. We'll check in with them in a minute, but we've got to do one at a time here. We ain't got 2 cameras going on.
Need more than 2 pairs of eyes, really, at this moment. It's very, very busy out there with these groups, and you can imagine it's only going to be busier in the second race. Full reverse grid to come later, of course. Stay with us, 25 minutes of that to come after this one. Spectacular racing, though, in this battle for 5th place all over again. It's a little bit less lively than the one down for 12th place, but I can imagine it's going to get loud late on, because there's only 2 laps to go at the end of this one, and surely they're all going to want that top 5 position that Dave Collier currently holds. He's trying to squeeze down Wareham as much as he can to the inside, trying to narrow his line. He breaks late, but Wareham breaks later. Has he gone too deep? No, not quite.
It's going to be
Collier gets into the back rim. Holland doesn't have anywhere to go. Here comes Scott Brown. He's going to get alongside Jack Holland now.
Yeah, Brown got a run and a half. He's going to clear Holland. The question is how much momentum is he going to carry up into Collier? It doesn't look like he's managed to carry a lot, and he's going to be in behind him once more. Holland's not really looking to make that move. McCain and Brown are swapping places. They've been at each other for ages, but this is the Corys, Doolan, Modric, McPhee, Rylands, Cummings battle. They've kind of pilted out a little bit. The boil. They've lost a bit of the boil down that end, but we've still got these cars that are still going at each other here, and this is just non-stop all the way through this race. As you say, I think we're going to just about get one more, depending on where Fertile will be. Yeah, we should get one more.
One more. He's been dominant, by the way, here after Fertile. It's going to be very interesting to see whether he can do what he couldn't do last week, which is back up his race 1 win with a race 2 win, but there are about 10 more people this week for him to overtake, which is not ideal. So that's going to be very interesting, but that's to come later on. Dan Wareham now 5th place for him. Jack Holland's probably the closest to making an overtake here on the back of Scott Brown. Is he going to make it? Not sure he's going to even try into the final chicane this time round. It's all going to be left for the last lap here as Wareham goes for a very tight entry there. Collier is surely going to get a better run. So Scott Brown, it's going to be on here on the last lap.
Oh, Brown trying to make room. You see him just give Collier a kiss almost. Get over, son, give me a little bit more. And he just wouldn't give it to him, and Collier was like, I don't care, you carry on, you're not having it. Wareham tightened up club. I don't know why he tightened it up that much, but he lost so much speed. Collier's just sent it on the inside of Campbell. Now coming into Cobb as well. Collier is, if Wareham gets a run, which he's going to do, but it's going to force Wareham wide. Now he's had to pull it back the other way, settle in behind him. Watch this 5 go absolutely crazy. Where are you, Arthur? I'll pick on you going over the line as well. We've got a few more seconds till you go, but this group is still going at it, and well, we are going to have to watch Arthur Fertile in about 2 seconds time.
Collier did get to the inside line there through that gentle left-hander, so he did get back into 5th place. Meanwhile, Arthur Fertile is coming into the final chicane. It's been dominant from him. He's clearly the quickest driver in this session tonight, and he takes race 1 here from Thruxton. Final race to come later. Can he go back-to-back and win his 3rd race of the season? Meanwhile, for 5th place, it's side-by-side at the moment as Mark Brown hangs on from Alan McCain, does he? Yes, just about. What about for 5th? Dan Wareham on the inside line again. He's gone deep again, though. Oh, slides just in the way. He's going to hang on. What about 6th? Holland versus Collier to the line. Coming through the middle, that's Scott Brown and Woodmore. 4 wide over the line. My goodness me. Collier gets there ahead of Woodmore, who gains 2 places on the last lap. Scott Brown finishes 8th and Jack Holland down to 9th.
Yeah, Dolan got also a run. They're taking that chicane far too slow. You need to speed it up a little bit, boys. You can go a lot quicker through that. I can tell you that much. You can go a lot quicker. Rylands, McPhee and Cummins comes over the line as well. That was just mental. Absolutely mental. And we're doing it again. Full reverse grid for an extra 5 minutes.
Absolutely fantastic. Very much looking forward to it. Everybody got to the end of the first race, by the way, which is a good thing. And so even John Johnson and Tim Walters, who finished 1 lap down. But yeah, wow, what a fantastic first race. I say, I think you've joined for the best round, to be honest. This has been
mate, I've had a great
absolutely
time.
Brilliant stuff so far in race 1. One more still to go, and it is the final race of our season. The GR86 UK Cup. Arthur Fertile wins the penultimate race, though, ahead of Eric Ronenberg, with the Mark Brown hanging on from Alan McCain at the end there, as the session just advances. Will be in warm-up in a few moments' time. Dan Wareham held off Dave Collier, Peter Woodmore, Scott Brown and Jack Holland in that battle for 5th place, with Dan Forster rounding out the top 10. Bradley Lovings finishing just outside the top 10, with Craig Corey holding off Michael Dolan at the end. It was Lee Rylands holding on from Simon McPhee and Dean Cummings. Then Mike Walters, who finished in 17th place, ahead of Michael Vester. Rick Modric and Curtis Matthews rounding out the top 20, with Adrian Hadfield just outside of it. It's Michael Champlin, Stuart Briley and Rick Wishon, the final drivers on the lead lap. John Johnson dropped 1 lap. Tim Waters did as well, but he had that big smash at turn 1, of course, on the opening lap. What an opening race that was, and so little incidents compared to what it could have been in another world with so many cars battling so hard.
Yeah, we saw great racing. We saw great, hard side-by-side racing, little kisses here and there, but it was still great racing. They had a great time out there. Here's Jack is in YouTube chat. He's just put wow. Peter Woodmore's just put wow madness. So that literally sums it up, doesn't it? That racing was something that you get, that you sit back and think, Jesus, was I just a part of that? Your adrenaline's going to be going. You're just going to be going absolutely mental. Curtis Matthews is going down the airport strip. He's off back home.
I thought this was an airfield.
Yeah, it's an airfield in the middle.
It used to be.
No, it still is. They do still fly planes out of it.
Oh, right. Very nice. That's why the previous layouts had so many long straights, sort of in the middle of them, because I'd imagine they were running up and down the airfield.
If I can get
on some of the layouts.
Yeah, just where are we in conjunction with the race circuit? We're on the straight. Just at the back here, where these units are that they put in vans and stuff, they actually have planes nestled in there as well. So where all that collective is of cars, there's planes and stuff in there that come down here and then zoom off out the middle. And they land helicopters over the back and everything else. So still active.
Well, fair enough. I didn't know that. That's, by the way, Jack Holland in the YouTube chat, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Who was...
Obviously not active on race days, right? Let's be real about it. You can fly helicopters in, but you can't take a plane off.
Yes, I would hope so.
Just saying.
Missing the runway, ended up on the racetrack. Dear, oh dear. That would be not pretty. So,
no, but they're only little planes, right? Because you've only got a little runway. Let's put it this way: 747s.
I wasn't imagining transatlantic flight. No.
No, you know what I mean. It's not like a 24-hour trip off to America or anything like that they're taking out there. You know what I mean? So they're only little ones, little Cessnas.
Slightly closer to America, to be fair, than London is. So there you go. Maybe they should start, but.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Curtis Matthews got DQ'd for reckless driving down the runway. Apparently.
Oh, in warm-up. Sorry, I thought you meant in the first race.
No,
well, it's slightly reckless, but I imagine iRacing registering that as going the wrong way, which will get you disqualified very quickly in this session. Just while we're in warm-up, by the way, just want to remind you of the couple of raffle draws that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. We'll be doing the usual one for the track art that is provided by Mark Brown. Of course, this week's is for Thruxton itself, since we're here. So every driver that makes it to the end of both races tonight, and so far everybody has, will be entered into the draw for the track art, the final bit of track art for this season of the UK Cup. And as an extra one, we have got the Conspit Sim Dash, which has been donated by them, worth nearly £300. That is for every driver who's completed both races in 6 out of 7 rounds of our championship. We have got currently 16 drivers who have done that. So as long as all those 16 make it to the end of this last race, then we will also have that to be drawn at the end of the race. But we'll be doing that just after race 2 and just before the interviews itself. Looking forward to race 2, very much so actually. 25 minutes again here for race 2, but it's a full reverse grid, unlike previous Tanso series where it's only been the top 6. The full reverse grid, I think, is really going to add something to this second race.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. Like, can I go in for the wall art? Could I put my name in or not?
You've got to complete both races.
I have. You didn't say I had to be
driving.
You didn't say that. You can't change the rules now just because I want to put my name down. I've completed both races. You didn't say I had to drive. And I'm in spirit with Mike Walters because the logo's on his car, so I'm completing both races with Mike Walters.
I'm not sure that's going to count. We'll see if it counts. Maybe if he wins, he'll give it to you.
Yeah, maybe it was worth a go, I suppose. I don't know. There we go.
Let's have a look at the grid with Tim Walters on the front for this final race of the season. John Johnson alongside him. Rick Wishon and Stuart Briley are on row 2 ahead of Michael Champlin and Adrian Hatfield. Curtis Matthews and Rick Modric are on row 4 ahead of Michael Vester and Mike Walters. It is Dean Cummings and Simon McPhee who will be on row 6. On the halfway mark of the grid, it's Lee Rylands with Michael Dolan. They've barely changed positions, those two. Craig Courish, 15th, better Brandy Lovings with Dan Forster and Jack Holland on row 9. Then Scott Brown and Peter Woodmore will be on row 10. Outside the top 20 is Dave Collier and Dan Wareham, with Alan McCain and Mark Brown on the penultimate row. And finally, on the last bit, is Eric Ronenberg and Arthur Fertel on the very back of the field. I guess the real big question, for me anyway, is especially Arthur Fertel, since he was so dominant in that first race, can he make his way all the way through and overtake 25 cars in 25 minutes to win here? You know, it's not impossible, but it's going to be so difficult.
No. There you go. I don't think he will.
Oh, you're saying no, he can't do it? Okay.
No, I don't think he can. I don't think he can.
I don't know. I'm not willing to write him off because he was so quick in that first race.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but I still don't think he can. I think he's going to be too much for them. No offense, Arthur, I love you to bits, but you got to pull your big boy Superman pants on, and that's going to be very, very difficult indeed.
It is, but you know, you never know. I'm going to go with yes, just to partly because I believe he will, but also just to be a bit different. You
just do it out of spite. It's fine. You just spite. It's fine. Don't you worry about it.
I'm not doing it out of spite.
Yeah, he sounds like it. God, I've been with you today. I sound like your husband. Right. Anyway, see, look, I'm on the car. Look, I'm on Mike Walters' machine on the roof. So
on the roof. I'd imagine
I've completed both laps.
You're not on. You're on both Walters' cars, I'd imagine, aren't you? So there we go. Do you like the Jacques Villeneuve tribute helmet livery, by the way, they've got going on?
Who's got it going on?
The Walters'. Have you seen the sort of the coloured marks near the bottom of the doors and the pink base?
I've just seen pink.
So you need to look at it side on.
You pay far too much attention. Oh, he told me. The green, the red, the green, the yellow, the blue and the white.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That is a Jacques Villeneuve helmet, isn't it?
Yes, there you go.
There you go. I'm rocket science. Figure it out. James is the YouTube chat. Good luck to JT on the front row. Good luck. It depends what John does here, really, mate. To be honest, this has been mental. If you've missed the first race, I'll be interested to see what JT can do.
Yeah, going to be very interesting to see what he can do. I'm looking forward very much to this race. To be honest with you, it's going to be a good one. Walters on the front row with John Johnson just alongside the final race, of course, of this championship. This has been the Tanso Racing Group GR86 UK Cup, the final season we've had in 2024. A few weeks off before Christmas now for Tanso, before returning, of course, back in January. Walters then going to be in control of the field very shortly. Is he going to do an Arthur Fertel and just go immediately out the final corner, or is he going to wait a little bit longer? I can't imagine he's going to wait very long, but let's see as they make their way out of the final corners. Now, there you go. He was given car lengths for free, to be honest, and he's immediately used them to build a lead here early on. He's nearly got a second before the race has begun. John Johnson gave him a very big gap indeed. Wishon got it to second immediately. Then it was Chaplin further down. Fertel's already making up places ahead of Brown and Wareham, who didn't have a very good final corner at all. Now they're towards the back already. That's an early unfortunate moment for them. There goes Fertel, trying to come through the field immediately here towards turn 3 as they work their way through the chicane for the first time.
Yeah, bad news for you. Brown and Wareham started in pit lane. So they've just come out of the pits. That's why Fertel gained 2 places at the beginning. Woodmore's in there, Ronenberg's in there as well. McCain is still fighting alongside. Looks like at the moment Tim Walters is flying. With Rick Wishon, John Johnson's got Michael Chaplin for company as well. Then we've got this Brearley who's got Hadfield, Matthews, Vesta, Cummings battle all going, taking shape at the same time. So a lot of action kicking off here all the way through at this moment in time. And again, we said it once, we said again, this second race is going to be as nuts as the first.
Certainly is, although the leaders, already getting away. Is that going to prevent the guys coming through the field from actually getting to them by the end here? Let's wait and see as they all go too wide in the background. Battle for third place is on here, but it looks relatively tame compared to what's going on further back. All the way from up here, there's gaps less than a second, and here they come. down in towards the chicane. Can they all make it through cleanly? Look at that in the background. Oh, in the middle there. That was a big moment for Modric, who managed to get his way through. And he thankfully hangs on. Everybody hangs on through the opening lap of this race.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's been absolutely mental. And they've been 2 wide, 3 wide, everything going on over this first half of the lap. And there's still battles happening. Mike Walters there looks like he may have got to slow down because he's lost places. But they're still kicking off here and it's still going. They're all jostling. Let's not forget, they're all trying to find a place on the racetrack. And the 2 men or 3 men really were Chaplin, Wishon and Walters. They bolted away, which is going to make it harder for the likes of Arthur Furtle, who's just got Rick Modric, but in front of Rick, it's got Eric Ronenberg and Dave Collier. So, yeah, good luck, Arthur.
Could be difficult. I was expecting to make up more places on the opening lap, to be honest with you, but 20th place, it's going to be a very, very long road back to the front if he's going to get there here in this race. Now, side by side between Cornish and Rylands. Lee Rylands going to have to back out of that one in towards Church. Lovington Bester as well up at the front there, going side by side. Holland also gets through on Bester. Oh, they're all off. Dear, oh dear, everybody following everybody else there. The line was through the grass pretty much. Side by side further up, Hadfield versus Briley as Chaplin comes down the field. He's okay though, he carries on. Big slide for Briley, or Hadfield I should say. Now one for Briley, who spins in front of the field. Oh, big smash. He's hit there by Simon McPhee by the looks of things, was it? Oh, it's Cummings, apologies. Cummings there has got for a spin, and Briley has actually been punted into the pit lane.
Yeah. Oh, Matthews has got his way round. Oh, he's in the barrier. Now look at the group. This is like a pack of wild hyenas coming after here as well. Hollington, he's been hit. Oh my dearie good God. He got hit and then got hit back straight.
Collier and Prescott have gone off at the chicane as well, by the way, further down. It's all been going on here in the last couple of laps, and I don't think it's going to calm down for another 21 and a half minutes. There's still a very long way to go here with the intensity of racing we've got going on right now. This is just going to be like this, I'd imagine, for the remainder here, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic so far, still a long way to go. Johnston's still at the front of this group. I reckon he could be overtaken by quite a lot of drivers in these next few moments.
If he don't, John's got to get his elbows out, mate. He ain't going to... Otherwise, he is going to get eaten, and he'll get eaten really quickly because there's so many people in and around. You can see Lovington's just made that move on him as well. He's in the middle. We don't really know where to go. John's like, oh my God, what is going on? We got McPhee diving in like an absolute nutter with Holland having a battle. We've got Johnson over the curb. We've got Ronenberg being pushed out into the underworld. He's just had he's back in the track.
Oh dear, oh dear. Ronenberg drops down. Oh, it's a big mess. Big mess down here. Modric's gone for a spin as well. Alan McCain's delayed. And that's another big smash for Walters. Mike Walters through the first corner in the wall with Bester and McCain.
Oh my. Deary me. I'm trying to say it in the nicest way. What was going on there? That was just absolutely nuts. Right, let's see if we can decipher this. This is Rick Modric's moment. There's the Ronenberg incident. Modric got hit by McCain. Yeah,
couldn't quite get through, and he carried on for McCain. He's broken his rear right suspension there as well, which is not helpful. So then McCain gets back going again, but he doesn't probably realise who's alongside him or whatever. Oh no, that was Curtis Matthews and Michael Vester come steaming in there, and McCain was a pretty innocent bystander actually, but there's a lot of damaged cars now in the pit lane, I'm afraid, after all of this. This is John Johnston into the first chicane, and these curves are pretty deadly if you get them wrong, and there you go, spin there at turn 4.
Yeah, that's just wrong. Modric and Wishon, man, be sensible. God, don't lose the 5 seconds you've got. Chaplin's got 1.6 behind, but it's here. Corish, Hatfield, McPhee, Furtle, you can see them just coming out of pit lane as well. McPhee and Hatfield are kind of blocking the track from Furtle. Furtle's even got to decide, right, I'm going for it. Don't move for him. He might be winner, but you can get hold of him. Give him a little bit of rough up there, son. As Hatfield kind of lets him through a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the biggest group in the field now, and I think all of this does help those who were up towards the front in the previous race, and now that things have thinned out a little bit, they can start to pick them off one by one a little bit more easily. Arthur Thurtle is one of those, and he's up to 9th place now. The only concern is the gap that Walters and Wishon have got. As you were talking about a few moments ago, it's very sensible, I think, for Walters and Wishon just to work together now for the next 15 minutes. And fight it out later, because they've got a huge gap over the rest.
Yeah, there's no point going crazy. There's no point going crazy. I want to see what happened to who was it that got shot into pit lane? Can't find who it was that went shooting into pit lane at a rapid rate of knots. I think it might have been Stuart Briley, wasn't it?
Briley.
It's trying to find where Stuart went, because he got
there you go.
Just about.
He sort of had no choice there but to come in. I mean, he took his fast repair anyway. He was going for it. I think he was already going for a slide actually, and then he was just smacked there by Cummings at the
Straight in pit lane. That was it. Nice easy entry for Stuart Briley. But we've got a split in the group. Hadfield, Woodmore, Brown, Foster and Rylands. No, as I say that, Rylands is unfortunately sitting round there. And then we got Bradley Lovins who's having a go with Jack Holland. So this is an interesting one with Wishon and Walters up the front still.
Yeah, Holland has done some really good progress here. I think he's the first of the top 10 actually from the previous race. I think he's first in the queue. Now looking for 5th place. This is a cutback move through Goodwood. You don't see this very often. And he's going to get the run here for the inside at Church, but he's not quite going to get there. Oh, careful, driving down the grass. It is a bend here, don't forget. It's not a full straight. Then get the run through here, take the slipstream on the way towards Club and take that 5th place to be what he's trying to do. Although Champlin's been really slowed down by some lap traffic here, and he might well be in a bit of trouble. Here comes Lovings through the middle, trying to get for the overtake here. Holland tries to follow him through as well as the lap car dives it into the final chicane.
Who is that?
I don't really know what's going on here, to be honest with you. Dan Wareham it is who's involved, and it's really slowed down Champlin. He's now behind Holland. He's behind Thurtle as well, who goes through.
Wow. Champlin lost a bunch of time and a bunch of places. That is literally insane. If that was just that from Dan Wareham. Wareham's still in here, I think, still fighting in the group. He is. He's not giving him any quarter. But Thurtle is not giving Holland any quarter either. He's made it impossible for Holland to turn. Holland's had to get a run. There was a bit of argy-bargy in the background. And McPhee was involved with that one. But you can see Holland and Thurtle side by side. And now here comes Mark Brown in the mix as well.
Into the right-hander they go. Mark Brown down the inside and looking for the way back through. The problem Thurtle has got is that this time he's brought some of those fast drivers with him, whereas he got a big gap earlier on in the first race from Mark Brown. He's now got him right there with him, so it's going to be very interesting. And of course they're following him. They'll probably follow his line through the final chicane here, at least they should do, because they know he's getting away with it, so they should be able to as well. Mark Brown's even having a look at the inside here into this final chicane. That's not going to help Thurtle, who takes a very nice entry. Look at that, up over the first curve, up over the second. He's just way more up over the curves than everybody else.
Yeah, and he just takes way too more speed. Look, he's got Dan Wareham in front, and he's opened up nearly a second gap to the people behind. Now Lovins has got to do a job here. This is either going to be Lovins rolling over and getting his belly tickled and Thurtle's going to go through easily, or Lovins is going to put that Rottweiler spirit he's got, I'm sure, and give old Thurtle a good old defence. I love Shorty in YouTube chat. What's happened? They all got mad.
Well, I don't know if they've gone mad or this circuit's just a bit mad, to be honest with you.
It's bonkers. It's absolute bonkers.
Yeah. I think it's probably more the circuit rather than these guys themselves. But there you go. I suppose Silverstone National has a similar amount of straights and slipstreaming opportunity, and the racing wasn't quite like this, at least not in race one especially. So, yeah, maybe it is down to the circuit. Oh, off in the background, Holland. Jack Holland there.
Yeah, it's not as fast, I think, is it? It's not as fast, is it? Silverstone National's not as fast as this. That's the thing.
Not on average, I suppose, no. Not on an average speed. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to compare the two. They're very different circuits. But there's just a lot of slipstreaming chances there, like there is here. Meanwhile, Virtual goes down the inside into 4th place. That's a pretty easy pass on... Bradley Lovings. He goes for a big slide, though. Lovings will be right up close to him here on the way through turn 1 again. Birtle, though, will want to keep his eyes forward and try and catch those podium places.
Yeah, Brad's got to decide what he's going to do. Have a go at him. Go on. Put him under pressure.
I think he's going to...
You've got to have a go. If you don't have a go with him, he's going to pull away from you. Keep putting him. Whenever you get decent moments on him, like now, he'll get a good run out here. Lovins will. He'll just try and close that gap up. He's got to stick with him. Put him under pressure. The thing that fast drivers don't like is when they're constantly put under pressure. They end up popping or blowing an engine or doing something crazy, you know, and that's the thing. You want to keep these drivers under pressure if you can. Not like that. That's not going to do it. That's just cutting grass in an 86. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's going to allow Thruxton to go now. He's better off for Lovins to let Mark Brown go and try and get Brown to have a go at him. Oh, well, saying that, that's not Holland, is it? That's Wareham in the mix here, trying to push Brown up to him.
Wareham is still involved here. Into the corner. Brown goes through pretty easily on Lovins.
So slow. You can take it so much faster.
I mean, just look at Thruxton as well compared to these guys. He's taking it a lot quicker than they are.
Yeah, you can go so much quicker through that chicane, boys. You've got to be big and brave and pick them up. You know what I mean? Don't be wussing around with it. You can go in there and you will get it turned as well. So Thruxton's in 4th. It's got a bit of a journey, though, to try and get to the top. What's he got at the moment? 9 seconds. 11 minutes to go.
But I'd say he is a lap quicker than them, so I think this is still possible for Thruxton. My prediction's on the line. It's just about whether he overtakes these guys quickly enough. I think that's part of it here. He needs to get past those 3 quickly as well.
He has done, hasn't he? He's up the road. He's just got to get Doolin, Wishon and Walters. It's whether or not they're going to be able to hold on to him.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He's got to get past those guys quickly as well, especially Dalton and Wishon. If he wants to get to the chance to being in the lead again, he needs to get past those guys pretty quickly. But we'll see if he can do it here with Brown now on the defensive from Lovings. This feels like it might be a battle that lasts for a while. This one for 5th place, Brown, Lovings, and then Wareham is 3rd in the queue. He's down in 24th though. Then it's Jack Holland who's bringing up the rear.
Yeah, Wareham is in a bit of a rock and a hard place here because clearly he's got pace, but he's also a lap down. So what does he do? Does he get involved, try and get his lap back? What's the situation? You see him trying to help out Brown and not get in the way of Lovins. Wareham was kind of really stuck between a rock and a hard place then, so fair play to him for doing that. What has gone on here? Walters has caused himself a problem because Rick Wishon has just wiped out 5 seconds off him. What did he actually do?
I forgot to turn my mic on, sorry. Walters must have made a mistake somewhere, but at the start of this replay, he's only just ahead of Wishon. Has he got to slow down? I don't know, really. It's very bizarre for Walters. He's a long way ahead of him here. So, and there's that traffic up ahead as well. I hope that's not involved. I think it's Michael Vester in the red who's just up ahead here, but I wouldn't imagine he's involved. Oh, Walters has got that all wrong, as he's gone a bit too deep into the corner, and I think he's had to slow down as a result of that, has he? Don't know, but anyway, mistake made, and he's lost the lead.
That is a weird place if they put a slowdown on the outside there. That is a very bizarre moment if they put it on that outside line.
It's bizarre if he does that. It's not so bizarre if they've put one to stop you from going across the chicane entirely, which is understandable. But it's not understandable to give him a slowdown for that.
No. If that's where it is, if they've put it here just to stop that, that little bit of a touch, man, that's going to be worse than Red Bull for some people.
That is going to cause some problems. But don't forget, it is the first week of this circuit, so there may be some things that do need tweaking later. Holland and Corish, meanwhile, are going side by side, actually. Holland has lost a load of time. I think Dan Wareham might have been involved in the losing at that time as well. I think that seems still ahead of them, even though Brown and Lovings have gone up the road. So Holland now fighting off Corish for 7th place. It's a long way back from where he was before.
Yeah, he's still up 11 places though, mind you, mate. You know what I mean? He's still, he was 18th. Let's not forget about that. He's had to work his way through. Foster, Brown, McPhee and Woodmore are all back together. Love it.
This is the biggest group on the circuit now for ninth place. This is more like what we've seen in the first race, actually. It's taken a little while to reform after the opening laps of this second race, but we're getting those same groups back again here, although I would say Woodmore and Brown are probably the quicker two, and you'd think they'd be able to get away, but with the slipstream it's going to be very difficult. Into the final chicane they go, and they stay nose to tail. Meanwhile, Arthur Fertile makes his way up to the podium places. Yeah,
he's just cleared Dolan. So now he's got Walters up the road, 2.9 seconds. Wishon's up there as well. Dolan's got to put him under pressure. You've got to do something with the man, which I don't think he's going to be able to do. I think Fertile can see it and is now trying to get there. He can see the two. That's the problem. And when you see people, for some reason, you go quicker. Simon McPhee, however, has seen people. Don't know what he's done in the process, but he's done something here.
He's bounced over that curb on the inside there, and he's
way too much.
Spun round. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, he's dropped down now to 14th place, and so Michael Dolan, meanwhile, is the one we now come in to watch, because he is right on the back of Arthur Fertile here, in towards the final chicanes they go. Look at the speed that Fertile takes compared to the others. You'd think, though, with these guys following him, they just sort of do his line. But anyway, Dolan not quite able to do that. He's just taking it so differently, Fertile, to everybody else.
Yeah, he's just straight lining it and getting more pace. He's slowing it out for the corner earlier. He's getting the rotation on the wheels earlier, and he is literally just mullering it. That's basically it. He's just getting it absolutely flying.
It's very impressive to watch at the moment. As further back, Lovings versus Brown continues on. Looks like these guys are catching Dolan actually as well here, so they might have a chance of third place, these two. I think Fertile's still got a chance of catching Wishon and Walters here. He's still got 6 minutes to catch those 2 seconds to the two leaders.
Yeah, he's just done 1:21 last time. Walters did a 1:22 and Wishon did a 1:23. And Lovins has just been off the side of the circuit. Now, what did he do, and was it on his own? And how bad was it? Oh, he's just going to run wide, isn't he?
Probably just wide.
Yeah, he's going to do his grass cutting again. There we go. Off he goes. All the way around. GR86 lawnmower for a brief moment there. Walters and Wishon, they've got to do the smart thing. Don't fight.
Well, yeah, how much is it going to matter, though, at this stage? Look at Fertile there. Flied through the final chicanes, he so often does. It's like he's in a different class of car, the way he goes through there. And now all of a sudden he's on the back of Walters. He's got more than 5 minutes as well to do these 2 overtakes.
No. Come on. Put him under pressure. Arthur's a great driver, and I've got full respect for him, and I've seen him in pretty much any car, GT4s and everything. And he is an amazing driver. You want somebody like you. It's kind of like you want somebody to put him under pressure, to stop him, to elbow drive him. But you kind of know eventually Fertile's going to get through, so you don't really know. It's more of a case of when, not if. You know what I mean?
Oh, very nearly it was then, but into the back of him very nearly, Walters there, into Goodwood. He's not letting him through, is he? He is. He pulls to the right hand side and just lets him through.
Oh. See, that's where I would defend. You know what I mean? I would make that as hard as possible. I couldn't care your Max Verstappen. I would have made it as hard as possible for you.
Yeah, I think I don't think anyone would have frowned at that. Brown, meanwhile, has passed Michael Dolan now, and then it's Bradley Lovings next up as well. So these 3 are in the 4th position at the moment, or the battle for 4th position at the moment. Anyway, Walters is going to just be dragged back towards these guys, so it could be a battle for the podium actually now, with Brown leading the charge. Bradley Lovings on the back of these guys as well. 3.5 minutes to go, just over, and that's the amount of time that Rick Wishon is going to have to hold off Arthur Fertile, although it will probably start next lap. I reckon there will still be, though, 3 laps to go.
No, can he hold him for 3 laps? Realistically.
This is going to be difficult.
Yeah, he needs people to clear, though. That's the thing for Rick. He's going to need, I believe there's a back marker at the front there as well. He's going to need him to get out of the way, because otherwise Fertile's going to come through. It's here. It is literally on that last chicane where Arthur just does something different. He literally maintains the speed all the way through, and he'll be past Wishon by the time we get into the next right-hander.
Yeah, he'll be leading by turn 1, I think. Let's have a look, though, into the final chicane. For Fertile, he takes a bit of a different line this time, I think, because of the car in front. Wishon did seem to be well committed there. That was a lot more committed. Now then, has he got away with that? It looks like he has. He's just done what Arthur Fertile has been doing all race, so maybe we do have a race on here. As, by the way, that was very close to whether it will be 2 laps or 3 still to go in this race. If they have a big fight, it might only be 2 laps to go here for Rick Wishon to try and hang on.
Yeah, Fertile's tucked in now, through the right-hander of Campbell. This is where it's all on Wishon to try and hold this. This is the thing. How good is his defending skills? How good is his pressure? How good is his elbows? You know, because that's what he's got to get out. Don't do that! Oh, come on! Let's just let it through!
I can't believe that.
Dude! My Dachshund rolls over against his belly tickled. You didn't have to do the same. Oh, come on, come on. I would have muscled him. I would have given him some form of grief. Too easy.
Well,
way too easy.
That is slightly bizarre, I've got to say. When in a battle for the win with less than 2 minutes to go, to just let that one go there is unusual. So we'll see. But anyway, Walters versus Dolan in the background is still going to go on for 5th place as well. Dolan looks up the inside. Oh, careful! Contact! And Walters is going to smash into somebody! Oh, very nearly! Walters gets into the wall, he's up and over! Oh, Tim Walters' season ends on his roof! What a shame for him, as he was fighting for a top 5 at the very end! His season's going to end in retirement!
Oh, he's going to end up upside down as well. He got a little bit of a punt, did Tim Walters, and then it was just kind of on from there. And this is where it was. He got a little bit of a nudge. You just see it in a minute. You see it there. That's it. And now he's sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my, bang. And over he goes. That's it for Walters.
It did look a little bit like he moved across on him, to be honest, as he was rear-ended there, but we'll see what the 2 of them have to say about that. A real shame for Walters, who ends his race in pit lane. Mark Brown, meanwhile, I thought he was letting Bradley Lovings through there. That would have been weird as well. We'll see whether they get the white flag this time round or they get the checkered flag. Arthur Fertile's coming into the final couple of corners. I think because he's been at the front and he's been going pretty quickly, that it will be the white flag.
Checkered.
No, it's going to be the checkered flag. The race will end now. Arthur Fertile comes through the final couple of corners and will win the final race of the season. He goes back-to-back at Thruxton in the round 7 of the Tanso Racing Group UK Cup. Mark Brown does hang on ahead of Bradley Lovings for 3rd. What about Holland and Enquiries? Jack Holland trying to recover again after a number of problems today. He just about gets there. What about Scott Brown and Dan Forster? Oh, he's not got a very good run. Dan Forster's alongside him. Nose to nose, not quite. Brown hangs on in the end by 63 thousandths. Further back, Adrian Hatfield has got Mike Walters and Lee Rylands right behind him here in towards the final couple of corners. Bit of a lock-up from Hatfield. Oh, and through goes Walters. Outside line. Bit of contact. Walters goes through by the looks of things. They're still side by side. No, Hatfield goes through. He gets the run on the exit and he gets through, as Lee Rylands did go for a spin in the background, and Curtis Matthews just beats him to the line as a result.
It's just nuts, isn't it? It's just absolute nuts. Oh, well. If you haven't enjoyed that, you can't tell me you're a racing fan. That was just unbelievable. I loved every minute of that. That was great. I love coming in for Thruxton. I think I'll do this again next year.
every round at Thruxton.
Yeah.
I think is the.
Can you imagine the racing you would get?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't know if it'd be quite this good in every car actually, but in this car especially, it would be absolutely fantastic to see. So, yeah, a big well done to everyone who's managed to get this round organised in time, because it has been against time very much so, with it only being added this week. But Arthur Fertile wins 2 races out of 2 by 2.4 seconds this time round ahead of Rick Wishon, who just could have let him through there. Mark Brown finished on the podium in the end with Bradley Lovings in 4th place. Michael Dolan rounds out the top 5 with Jack Holland in 6th place. He held off Craig Courish at the line. Scott Brown held off Dan Forster at the line there. Peter Woodmore rounding out the top 10. Eric Ronenberg recovered from a quite early spin to finish in 11th place, ahead of Michael Champlin in 12th. Glenn McPhee finished 13th, ahead of Mike Walters and Lee Rylands, who were pretty close together towards the end. Stuart Briley finishes in 16th place, ahead of Alan McCain and Adrian Hadfield. Curtis Matthews and John Johnston, the final drivers on the lead lap. Tim Walters, Dave Collier, Dan Wareham, Michael Vester, Rick Modric and Dean Cummings were the final drivers who finished the race, as everybody did finish the race today. So now it's time to do a couple of draws. First of all, for the track art, that's for Thruxton, of course, provided by Mark Brown, who is third place in this second race, of course. However, the winner of the track art for this time around, I'm doing a spinning now to get the thing ready. It's Lee Rylands, who finished in 17th place for this, and James is disappointed, for this second race. But congratulations to Lee Rylands. Get in contact with John for that here from Thruxton. And for the Sim Dash, worth nearly £300, provided by Conspit, and you can check them out, by the way. They are one of the sponsors of this series, conspit.com. And a big thanks to them for that. The winner of that is Collier. So congratulations to him. That's, of course, open to everyone who completed both races in 6 out of the 7 rounds this season. With that said and done then, let's chat to some of the drivers at the end of this race, starting with Arthur Fertile, who won both races tonight. Congratulations, Arthur, on that win. Let's talk about race 2 first of all. Were you expecting to get through the entire field and take race 2 victory, and just how did you do it?
No, I wasn't expecting to get all the way through at all. I was expecting that at some point to die, but no, it was all right. I was amazed. I think it was on the second lap. The guys who I was in Discord with, I said I was amazed how clean it was. It was brilliant driving from everyone.
And how about the racing itself? How much did you enjoy the racing? Because we personally loved it. It was probably the best race of the season to watch, to be honest. How was that aspect, in your opinion?
Yeah. The second race was brilliant. The first one was I got lucky. I only got one slowdown, whereas the other guys I think had a few, and that was the only difference. This track's impossible to get away from, really. If everyone's in your toe, that's it. You can't get away.
You seem to manage it all right.
Yeah, it's because I didn't get the slowdowns.
Well, maybe, but either way, congratulations on 2 wins tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just the wife again for looking after the baby,
and Rick Wishon for rolling over and letting you go through and take the lead.
Yep, and that I'd have had him anyway, though, James.
Get out! I'm not saying you would have done, but I wish that he gave you more of a fight.
I wanted him to. I wanted him to stay out and fight for it as well, but he did have a couple of slowdowns. He said as well. So if it hadn't been for them, I think he said he got them on the last 2 laps.
Oh well, that's a rascal one, isn't it?
If it hadn't been for that, it was touch and go. I don't, because Tim was 10 seconds in front of me at one point.
Yeah, he was flying.
I could see I was catching him a second a lap at the chicane. It's like, oh, this is going to be really close. And then I think he made a mistake and lost 5 seconds. And then him and I think Rick then took the lead. And I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. But that was great fun.
Yeah, he got a slowdown on the outside of Campbell. He went out in the first right-hander, first right-left, and he went out just a little bit wide, and he got a slowdown off the corner.
Yeah, it was unlucky.
Definitely. Anyway, mate, I'm going to let you go. How was your holiday in Cornwall, really quickly?
Sorry, say that again.
I said, how was your holiday in Cornwall?
Yeah, it was awesome, thank you.
Good. Thought so.
Mark's asking if he can go next because in the waiting room because he's got to go to work afterwards.
All right, mate.
Oh,
Bye.
sorry.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks very much, Arthur. And
Oh, it's gone.
Well,
All right, go speak to Mark then.
Quickly chat to Mark Brown. Congratulations on a podium in race 2, Mark, and indeed in race 1 as well. How did you find tonight?
Yeah, good, great. Brilliant track. It's new to everyone. It was good fun now. Definitely very fast, demanding track. But yeah, enjoyed it thoroughly. First race now, I got to slow down through the chicane, fortunately, and that put me back into fourth, so I just sort of fight with Alan to get back into P3 again. But great track, great racing, seemed to be really good, so it would. And yeah, they all sort of got through the second race, I think, pretty clean for a while, and then really carnage. But yeah, the fight back up into P3 again for the second race was great. Good fun now, and I got lucky, I think, on several incidents now. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
You always need a bit of luck to go along with any one of these full reverse grid races. Just reflect on the season for us quickly as well. At the end of these 7 rounds, how have you found it, the UK Cup?
Yeah, great fun, hey, to have the UK tracks, and it's a good week yard to race on. You were at good close racing. Fair play to Scott. He's in a league of his own, that man. It's a pity he wasn't here tonight to have a bit of fun, because I think it would have been very close with us all at the top again. But yeah, fair play to Scott, and yeah, it was great fun now. And unfortunate Alan on the second race. I know we were only separated by a couple of points going into the last round, and yeah, I was hoping to fight him to the very end, basically. But he had an incident in the second race. But yeah, he secured P3 in the season. So yeah, fair play to Alan too, and good show for Simtech. So.
Absolutely. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just yourselves. Hey, cheers for broadcasting this all along, and you've done a great job. Thanks to John for putting this on, and all the admin team and all the racers too. We couldn't do it without them, and to have a good show of cars there this evening on grid for the final round too, just before Christmas. On a new track to everyone. So thanks to all the racers too for coming in this evening. And yeah, and to the wife and all for understanding and giving me a few hours in the evening. So thank you very much. I'd also like to say shout out to Peter Duke. He isn't here this evening, but yeah, thoughts and prayers for him and his family. His father passed away, so it's a shame he isn't here this evening. I know he was fast too, but yeah, we're all thinking about him here. So yeah, all the best now, and thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Mark. I know you've got to get off, so
yeah. Unfortunately, the first night I have to do a weekend night shift now, so now I have to drive an hour and a half to go to work. I was supposed to start like 4 hours ago. Told them no, I'm extremely busy till after 10. Let's hope my boss isn't watching this.
I'm glad you delayed to be here. Thanks very much for joining us again, Mark, and we'll hopefully see you in the new year.
Yeah, hopefully so. And take care. All the best, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone, all the racers too. Enjoy it, and yeah, have a few drinks and be merry.
Have a good one, Mark.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers. Hey, all the best now.
Mark Brown there, 2 podiums tonight in the final race of the season here in the Tanso Racing Group UK Cup. Now let's go back up to second place, and Rick Wishon, who can join us now as well. Congratulations, Rick, second place in race 2. Just tell us about those last few laps as Arthur Furter was chasing you down there.
Them guys are fast. Arthur and Mark both come from the back all the way to the front. I really didn't have the pace to hold them, but I was hoping to really defend hard with Arthur, and then I hit that last chicane and got to slow down, and I was trying to burn it off, but I couldn't get it burned off quick enough, so then that slowed me down. He got around pretty easy, and that let the others close the gap, but I think it was a lap car between me and Mark, so I had enough pace, or had enough gap there to keep second to the end.
We did wonder why you'd pulled off to the side and let him through, but that explains everything now. Just how difficult was it to stay within the track and not get those slowdowns while trying to go quickly around here as well?
Most of the track wasn't too bad, but that last chicane, that was tough for me. That was my worst one. I actually spun it there twice in the sprint, hit the wall, got damaged both times. But that was the toughest part for me, was that last chicane.
All right. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I just saying, man, I want to thank the OGR, Old Guys Racing League. Those guys are a lot of help, and Dark Helmet Racing League, both of those. I want to thank my wife for putting up with this and the time that I take to do this, and also want to thank my girlfriend, man, for I don't get to see her as much because of this racing.
You might not want to thank me, Rick, after watching the broadcast with what I said. I wasn't aware you had a slowdown, so just ignore me.
Okay, that's fine. I tried my best. Was going to defend, man, hard against Arthur, but once I had that slowdown, I just couldn't get it burned off in time.
Yeah, completely ignore me, mate. I was filled with adrenaline.
I understand.
Get the apology in now before he watches it.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Rick, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
All right, thank you guys, man, for the broadcast. It's really awesome and great to watch.
Take care, bud.
Thanks very much.
Later.
Thanks very much. Rick, on that, just covering ourselves.
And also the wife and the girlfriend. I weren't quite sure what was being said.
Doesn't make me giggle there. Let's chat to fourth place in that second race, Bradley Lovings as well, who can join us.
What's up, guys?
Oh, good blimey.
Brad, congratulations on fourth place. How was that?
Man, I'll tell you what, these guys are quick.
Yes.
I did some mowing grass over there. Hell, I think I went through the grass about 10 times.
We saw. No offense.
That last chicane, man, you got to throw them on your shoulder and go, and I just didn't have that today.
Yeah, we saw that as well.
I don't think anybody other than Arthur could really get around that chicane quite as quickly as he could for whatever reason. He was just flying through there. I mean, it's so difficult. We were just talking about it to Rick there, but how much getting used to this circuit did you have to do? I mean, you're not from the UK. Have you ever seen this circuit before?
I bought it and downloaded it and then got into qualifying.
Mate, that's about what I did. I had to buy it earlier as well. I was like, oh man, they've got a Thruxton. I got to buy it now.
It's a fun track. I think you could have fun in a lot of cars here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, even though it's small, it is a good track. Yeah.
And it's got the airport in the middle. You can sit there and do some drag racing.
Oh, see, that would be the best thing for me.
I just wanted to say what's up, guys. You guys are the best team ever. And I appreciate Tanso letting me and a couple of the boys come and race with him this season.
Yeah, it's been great to have you in for the last few rounds. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before I let you go?
No, man, just y'all two and Tanso, Old Guy Racing League, about 4 or 5 of us racing here from there. So it's just nice getting to drive with some people across the pond and having them spank me every week. They are very fast.
No, it's been great to have you here. Thanks very much for coming to chat to us, Brad, and we'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
I'll see y'all Sunday.
Take care, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bradley Lovings,
Right.
4th place in race 2 here tonight at
Oh,
Thruxton.
dearie me.
Well, that was a lot of fun. We don't normally get as many people coming in to chat, by the way, but, end of season, end of school kind of...
It's because I'm here, mate. I couldn't help it. I brought them all with me. All my fans and that all come with me.
It was like last day before Christmas at school, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Everyone knows they're about to have some time off. No, that was a lot of fun here at Thruxton. I have never commentated on a race actually around here, although I've watched plenty of races, despite the fact I've never been. But that was even more fun than actually I could have imagined. I think these cars especially suit this circuit really well.
Yeah, I think anything slow. As I said, I'm going to go and test the Gen 3 supercar in a minute and see whether or not I can get that round there as well. Because I think they would really suit this circuit. Touring cars, well, we know the touring cars go around here as well. So, I'm wondering if anything higher than a supercar GT3, might be getting a little bit. I'd love to do just something straight up crazy, like a GTP race, just for the sake of it, and see how quickly I could go round it, to be honest. 40
seconds or something.
Yeah,
that could be quite interesting. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to be here. By the way, you may not have seen the provisional iRacing special event calendar I saw on Twitter yesterday. 4 hours of Thruxton in touring cars at the end of May.
No way.
So, that is
all they got to do now is update the blinking touring cars.
Well, there's one more. It's in the end of season 2, so there's one more season break for them to update them. If you're holding out hope.
Well,
So,
I've been holding
so
out hope for the last 6 months, and all I kept seeing was GT3, 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 GT3.
GTP.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the Ferrari's in there as well. But, you know, hey, update the tour. Give us a BTCC touring cars. Come on. It's mainly the British drivers that drive them anyway. Chuck the cars in there. Anyway, I'm done now. Quick, stop me moaning. Carry on.
We'll see whether that comes in the new year, of course. No, very much thanks for everyone who's watched on this season. It's been great to be on the Tanso Racing Group GR86 UK Cup this season and last, of course, with the last GR86 series at the end of 2024. This is the last Tanso Racing Group racing, though, on JPB until the new year. So we very much hope that you'll join us on the other side. Plenty more broadcasts to come next week, though, in our final week of broadcasting before our Christmas break. So very much hope you subscribe and turn on the bell so you can come and join us at some point next week. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside James Parfitt. Until we see you next season, though, for more Tanso Racing, it's goodbye for now.